Hello everyone, this is Maryann here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. Welcome today. Happy Mother's Day for those who are celebrating in the Northern Hemisphere. Of course, we in the Southern Hemisphere and me down under celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, and I had a lovely day. I got flowers, I got chocolates, I got taken to lunch, and I had to remark that, or I had to observe that at lunch, lots of families with their mums, their grandmums, and the women had such huge, big smiles on their faces as they were being given gifts and treated by their families. It really was a happy day, and I guess that's why we say Happy Mother's Day. So Happy Mother's Day to those that are celebrating today. So we've got a big a lot of questions to get through today. I'm going to look. Well, of course, you've all seen or heard about or looked at the commentary on CNN's disastrous town hall with Trump. I don't think I've been so emotionally triggered by something that Trump has done or that the media has done, including Fox, because I put CNN now in the same category as Fox, for years, and I've been around this kind of subject matter now since Trump was elected, and I've seen a lot and witnessed a lot and predicted a lot too, but that CNN town hall left me absolutely cold and left me seething. I think that was the journalist in me, and that'll be the subject of my podcast this week, so I'll do that later on today and upload it and let you know. That's the Random Sage with Maryann from Revealing Light podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify, and I've also got a YouTube podcast channel as well, at Random Sage Podcast. Okay, so triggered I was. All right, moving on from that, one of the outcomes from that town hall is that Trump seemed to dig himself more and more deeply into a legal hole, and we'll look at whether Jack Smith will use any of those CNN, what amounted to confessions in a way, against him. Particularly, I looked at the wording around the classified documents. Well, they were mine to take from the White House, and I may or may not have showed them to other people. And if I did, that was my right. He knows what's coming. Anyway, we'll look at that because I really want to drill down on this. Did Trump share any classified documentation with the Saudis, and whether or not Smith is looking at that. So we'll cover that, and I'll do a separate podcast on the dangers of what CNN did a couple of nights ago with that town hall, and why it is so wrong, not just for me, not just for you, but it's also wrong for Republicans and wrong for MAGAs in the end. I know you're going to say, how can that be? But I'll talk about that in the podcast. Pressure's mounting, of course, on the Supreme Court and on Clarence Thomas. You know that I've predicted he will be resigned, pushed out, and many of you think this is my opinion. No, that's what the cards are telling me. So it's a prediction. And some of you have said, no way will he resign, and he'll go kicking and, but what I'm saying is he will go kicking and screaming, but the pressure will be such that he will be forced out. We'll look at that again. Erdogan and the opposition leader, I'm not even going to, will I try and pronounce his name? I don't know, maybe not. In Turkey. So neither of them met the 50% threshold, a bit like what happened in Brazil. And they're going back for a runoff on May 28th. So we'll look at whether or not Erdogan or this opposition leader, I should try and pronounce his name, shouldn't I? The Australian trying to pronounce the Turkish dialect. Let's see. Kilic Dalju. How did I do? I don't know. Okay, we'll see who wins there. I also want to mention too that Ukraine is in a lot better position now than what it was even 2 months ago when I last read, when I looked at the material, defence material type of shortages, supply shortages. My most recent reading predicted this fractured, or picked up on this fractured leadership in Russia. And of course, now since that reading, we have seen it play out that the Wagner Group head is, I don't know how he still keeps his head, because the things that he's saying, it's now emerging through the classified documents leak on Discord that he has actually been tic-tacking with the Ukrainian intelligence to you do this for me and I'll do this for you. So I don't know how much longer that fellow will be, the Wagner head will be on his shoulders, so to speak. I don't know how long he's going to be around. He's basically offered to give them Russian army locations in return for giving him some territory at Bakhmut, or giving him Bakhmut. So there's a lot more there than meets the eye. I won't update that reading in this reading, but I just wanted to let you know that. And also that Europe's resolve in helping Ukraine seems to be growing stronger and stronger. Germany has released a joint statement saying they're there for the long haul. They're giving Ukraine more material and financial support, and they've committed to pushing Russia, helping Ukraine get rid of Russia in Ukrainian sovereign territory. So European resolve seems to be hardening, and that also tells me that perhaps they also, being very close to the war, know that Putin's days might be numbered, so they're well positioning themselves, but also because they're on the doorstep of the Russian invasion of a neighbouring, very close neighbour, or a neighbouring country, a regional, in their region. So that's good to see from Germany. All right, I did want to look at AI, particularly self-learning AI, which is where the dangers come from. But let's start the reading with my Tibetan symbols. I just love the sound of the symbols. I think I like them, as I said, even more than sound bowls. But let's get started with the Cosmic Tarot and also the Gilded Tarot, if I need it. So will Jack Smith, the special counsel that is investigating a host of Trump alleged crimes from January the 6th through to wire fraud, through to the theft of classified documents which did not belong to defendant Trump. Let's see if he's going to use any of the CNN town hall confessions. Something's jumping out. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool card. I think it gave our friend Jack Smith a lot of material, and I think legal pundits are saying the same thing. Will he use any of Trump's confessions? He was so gung-ho, wasn't he, Trump? He was so confident with his Trumpian stacked supporters that he became very loose in his expressions. So will Jack Smith use any of what Trump said in a courtroom when Trump is indicted? Or to speed up the indictments, will Jack Smith use any of what Trump said in the CNN town hall against him? Let's just ask that question. So we get the Eight of Cups and we get loss. That's interesting. I think it was more of a loss for Trump than what that despot actually realises, because there's an abuse of power. So here we go to the January 6th. What he said about January the 6th and Pence is particularly compelling. That appears, because it's about the election loss, that appears to be one of the huge, I guess, themes that Smith is honing in on. Princess of Wands at the base of the pack. Well, that's about communication, isn't it? Moving forward with communication. Interesting. Ace of Wands, in the past here we get planning and strategizing. A plan, somebody's plan that he put into place. Okay, so the planning. So he talked about the fake electors as well, being in on the planning, knowing about the plan. Queen of Pentacles in the sky here. That's national security. That's relating to the classified documents. I absolutely love this. This is domestic stability. And it's my code card for national security. It's in the sky. Oh, thank you. Spirit, we've got the Hierophant. This is the court. Look at that Hierophant. I'm glad the Cosmic Tarot, I'm glad I used it. Yes, I still get excited about the cards showing me, so much information. The grand jury, it will be shown before a grand jury. Now we have the King of Wands. These are the lawmakers. This can also be the prosecutors, the courts, the judges. And we get the Princess of Pentacles. So there's something to do. Okay, wire fraud as well. Wire fraud as well, raising the money from the election loss when he knew that it was not a loss, when... Yeah, can I just say it's a treasure trove? Nine of Pentacles, this is in the hopes and fears, independence, and it's a lot to do with the money that he made, so that's why I'm going to wire fraud. So January the 6th, wire fraud and classified documents there as well. And the King of Swords as well. Jack Smith is in the outcome, isn't he? That's the strategist, that's the planner, the King of Swords, that he holds the Ace of Swords, which is the truth. Three of Pentacles. So this is interesting. The Three of Pentacles is working with others. So there's something really important in all those cases that I've just spoken about, where it puts Trump in with others. So what Smith was looking for, which would speed things up, and that's what I think it will do, is Trump having full knowledge and carriage of all these things. He's right at the centre. And we get the loss here, loss, regret. People died on January the 6th, and things coming from up underneath. Remember, Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces, up underneath to the surface. It brought things to the surface, and it is around the loss of the election, secrets emerging, and a lot of information coming out. I'm pretty sure that there's a female prosecutor working with Jack Smith or overseeing him, and guardrails and endings and beginnings. So the Emperor card, the ending and beginning, new beginning of of greater control, greater guardrails. So yes, it was a gift. It's like someone just said, here, Jack Smith, have this gift. Have this gift. I'm pretty sure, now he cancelled his Iowa rally. I'm not sure of the timelines, but Defendant Trump probably got off that stage and his lawyers just went, holy. This is just... because that's what the cards are telling me. I don't have to be a lawyer now to feel the magnitude of what Trump, of the self-incrimination that he did. I'm just picking that up very strongly. All right, I always want to know, don't I? Obstruction of justice, as I said, Claire, audiently, I heard that. And I have read that there was espionage. I still maintain that he's given secrets away on Ukraine. Although your young alleged treasonous alleged traitor who shared all of that on Discord has now turned out, I said there's more information to come out on that. He was a Trumpian, he was there's footage showing him spewing racist and anti-Semitic tropes and violence and gearing up, putting away arms for a so-called war. I mean, this guy was a conspiracy theorist and very unstable. Now, I still think it will come out that he was assisted by another party as well. So let's wait for that one. All right, so did Trump share this classified information with the Saudis, even if it was to be distributed to Russia as well? Was the Saudis, I'm specifically referring to the Live golf tournament at Mar-a-Lago, did Trump, or at his Florida golf resort, did Trump share the classified information, classified documents with the Saudis? Four of Cups, 3 cups remain lost and 1 remaining. And here we come to Trump financing himself post-election as well and funding his legal costs. That came up in that last reading as well. So that would be espionage, wouldn't it? The past. Okay, so we get disappointment, bitterness in what has occurred in the past. The despots are very vindictive. Defendant Trump strikes me, in my personal opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only, as an extremely vindictive person. In fact, I think that's probably fair comment, because we've seen his vindictiveness play out in the past. There was a new start here. I'm just picking up this post-presidency environment. The Queen of Wands, this is plans, projects, motivations. It seems that his loss motivated him in a certain direction. The Six of Swords can be travel, can be moving out of troubled waters. I'm just pausing here because as it was in 2016 and all throughout his presidency with his foreign, and we read on it multiple times, his foreign connections, it didn't stop just because he just because he lost the presidency. There was still coordinated efforts, I'm feeling, to undermine the Democrats and Biden through foreign adversaries. The Chariot in the immediate future. There's a lot of travel here. The Chariot, a lot of speeding of things up. The Lover's card in the here and now. Those around him. That's his major arcana. He's a Gemini. And we get the Queen of Pentacles. National security, stability, money. So I think what Jack Smith, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, I think what Jack Smith is investigating is Trump allegedly being paid through the golf tournament, so not direct. I guess it's a form of, is it money laundering when the Saudis pushed money through that golf tournament in return for something. It's not unlike the $640 million or the $2 billion payout that Kushner took when he left the White House. This is judgment here, hopes and fears. There's an inevitability here about all of this. And we get the Ten of Swords, which is complete and utter downfall. The Justice card and the Sun card, major arcanas. It's very strong yes cards. This is not a yes card, but it's clarified by these major arcanas. So I'm reading this as this is part of Trump's complete and utter downfall, and we get the end of something. 3 of Wands is my overseas interests, and the 7 of Cups, the smoke screens, illusion, delusion, and the abuse of power. And it comes back to his loss of the 2020 election. And we get my card for the DOJ and or Biden and the voters. So all of this is coming to the surface and will come to the surface, and Trump's CNN town hall just added to the evidence that is being collected on all these matters. All right, let's have a look at Thomas. Pluto in Aquarius, exposing corruption for the benefit of the collective. That's the good part of Pluto in Aquarius. Let's have a look, and remember, this is not just going to happen very quickly. This is going to play out over the next couple of years. But we're seeing this burst while Pluto ingresses into Aquarius and then moves back into Capricorn for the rest of the year, and then into Aquarius full time in January 2024. Okay, well, Clarence Thomas, part of, what's coming out. It's amazing, isn't it? Will Clarence Thomas be forced to resign? Will Clarence Thomas be pushed out? I see him, he could have a health crisis. Well, what I say, he could resign, and this is the way I saw it before, on a pretext of ill health. 3 of Pentacles, so that's that's the tarot's card for dark money. 3, working with others, and we get illusion and delusion and very poor choices as well. I think he thought he was untouchable. 10 of Wands, there's a lot of baggage, obviously, that is being carried. We get greed. I saw an interview in the past. I saw an interview with him saying, they go to trailer park type, not trailer parks, well, I guess parks. And because that's where ordinary people go. And, of course, he's so ordinary. What a load of BS. This was all said while he's $500 million, wasn't it? In travel and holidays and yachts and God knows what else. There's so many metaphors, at the higher level, at the existential level as well. There's so many metaphors about what's happening now. Clarence Thomas, the first black American to ascend to the court, and look at what the billionaires made of that. I won't go too much further into that, but you know where I'm coming from. The 6 of Wands is victory in the sky. The 6 of Swords is transitioning, can be travel, moving on, moving out of troubled waters. Both of those 6s indicate to me that he's going to go. And we've got a speeding up of things. So one more thing that comes out. The Emperor, control. I do feel that, and I said this before, while John Roberts is certainly no hero, it's his court, his legacy, and I think he's putting pressure right now on Thomas to go. Now, there might be, it's very sophisticated, isn't it? There might be a period of time that goes past and then he develops a health problem and says, I'm standing down because of the pressure or whatever. The moon card thing in the hopes and fears, I think there's more. I hate to say it, but there's more. And we get the 8 of Cups, walking away. That's my resignation card. He's going. And we get moderation and healing, clarified by moderation and healing. The Temperance card can also be a December time frame, but there's a period of time that he sits it out, tries to hang on, but ultimately can't hang on and is forced out. Please remember that in all these things there is the Star card, the hope of justice, real justice, the hope of truth coming out. And it's more than a hope. I think that Star card is something we manifested as a collective, and I've done multiple readings on that. All right. Let's see about Erdogan and the opposition leader in the runoff. Okay, Erdogan. Show me Erdogan. Turkey's Erdogan, 20-year reign. If the opposition, who would have thought it would go to a runoff? Good percentage of Turkey don't want Erdogan to win and want to see change. That's what that runoff result says. Okay, so will Erdogan win the runoff? Let's go the other way. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Will Erdogan win the runoff? Will Erdogan win the runoff, please? Cards will show me either way. The Ace of Cups, well, that's emotion. That's a new start. Doesn't mean that he would necessarily win. And we get wish fulfillment. So Turkey wants, as I said, are hoping for this new start. We've got the Hermit card, isolation. There's something about Erdogan being isolated in some way from his voters. The Princess of Swords in the past, information coming out about Erdogan. This could be around that earthquake, just an unhappiness after this 20 years. They do want change. The King of Swords is an air sign. That's in the sky. And we have the Four of Cups, disappointment, but one cup remaining. That's that Ace of Cups. Nine of Pentacles, independence, money. Some are looking at Erdogan when the going gets tough and perhaps what he's got. The control, that's what I was afraid of. A corruption there prior to the runoff by Erdogan, corrupting things. The Ten of Cups, families and the hopes and fears. They want a new start. And the outcome is temperance and moderation. The Hierophant card, the courts, the church, and overseas influences. Seven of Pentacles, Plan B. And the King of Pentacles, the oligarchs, the Wheel of Fortune, and the abuse of power. I'm going to say Erdogan might Erdogan might win the runoff, but I'm going to read closer on that. It's not the result. Well, it's not the result I wanted. Erdogan has been playing both sides against the middle. He's blocking Sweden's entry into NATO. But at this stage, at this time, it's interesting. Those cards, while they're all yes cards, also point to voters wanting change and a more moderate candidate, one that will act for their interests. The everyday people feel that Erdogan is no longer doing that. So that outcome can ultimately speak, without drawing clarifying cards, which is what I would normally do, can ultimately speak to a more moderate candidate winning. But we'll follow up at the next, closer to May the 28th. Okay, I did want to get on to AI. There's lots of forms of AI chat boxes which, replace human activity, so that, that's been going on for a while. You're talking to a machine. You're not talking to a real person. It's very frustrating. Well, they've become more sophisticated. But the part of AI I really want to focus on today is machine learning chat boxes, also known as artificial intelligence. They are the most sophisticated. They enable users to ask advanced, open-ended questions and offer the most natural responses. These chat boxes, I'm quoting from IBM's website, these chat boxes continue to learn from conversations and improve their responses over time. So artificial intelligence who learns and evolves, and that's what we're all afraid of if this goes unchecked. Now, the problem with AI is the regulation, the regulatory environment isn't keeping pace with the progress of the technology. Now, this is the underside, the dark belly underbelly of Pluto in Aquarius. Let's take a look. Are these machine learning, artificial intelligence? Can they be dangerous? That was a quick yes that I got. These artificial intelligence, machine learning, artificial intelligence, do they present a danger to us? So I'm getting, is there AI monitoring or looking at weather elements? Is that something that we would do, that they could interfere in some way in the climate, in the weather? Seven of Pentacles. So we've got something not going right and then having to fall back to another plan. And we get Knight of Wands, movement very, very, very quickly. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight in the tarot deck. Now, this can also be, there's been a lot of embracing of artificial intelligence from the business community because, hey, guess what? It maximizes their profits. And we get the Three of Swords, heartbreak, loss, heartbreak, loss, going to cost jobs. This is also betrayal. Is it dangerous, I ask? Well, it's certainly a wish come true for those that are seeking to. It's more than profits, though. I'm sensing this energy in the sky, the Seven of Swords. This is about controlling something. So there's a subset of people that we probably don't know about, that the media hasn't unearthed. Come on, investigative journalists, do your jobs. There is a subset of developers who are looking at AI to give control. There's some kind of control thing going on, but there's deception involved in it. Deception, leaving something unguarded. We've all seen the movies. Page of Wands. So we get that it's going to take a small step forward in the future, but I'm still tapping into a larger potential for AI or dangerous AI in the future. Now, it's very critical right now to set up the regulatory environment and the guardrails. The Sun card, full illumination, and the Four of Cups. Yeah, I'm getting AI in connection to weather a lot in this reading. Four of Cups, disappointment, but one cup remaining. We're at a crossroads. What we do now will impact on this larger threat in the future. So, victory, yes, it is dangerous without proper regulation. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy and strength. So there's a potential, just have a look at these cards. There's a potential for AI to evolve to a point where it can actually deceive the developer or deceive the controller or deceive the human beings who have implemented the system. Or what was, I guess, hypothesized in those movies is actually correct. Now, we have an ability now to set some regulation. Gosh, I hope they're doing it, to restrict it now. That's the message that this reading is giving us, because there is a lot of greed and abundance for businesses to quickly get on board this technology. In fact, they already have. If you use the Bing search engine, you get the chat box that goes with it. But yeah, it's the machine learning evolution type AI that we need to watch. That's a definite threat. All right, long reading today. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.